rush is on right now to save priceless works of art from flooding. Rising waters are moving closer now to the Louvre in Paris. CNN senior international correspondent Jim Bitterman is live there. This must be historic flooding for the city, and has the Louvre ever been in a position like this, Jim?
Well, it has actually, Natalie. There have been times in the past when they've had to evacuate the works of art, especially in the basement. In fact, we're watching the water levels rise right now. The waters at the center are about 6 meters. That's about 20 feet, almost 20 feet over their normal levels, and that is almost equal to the flood of 1982, which a lot of people will remember here, including myself. It could reach that high later on today. They're waiting to see. They think around midday the levels will be that high. At the Louvre, what they've done is they've shut the museum down so that the staff can be pressed into service, moving works of art down in the basements. Of course, the basements of the Louvre are legendary because of the storage capacity they have down there. These are things that people don't usually see. The works of art you know from the Louvre are already on upper floors, but we're going to be moving the ones that are in the basement. There's some priceless works of art down there, as well as across the river at the Musée d'Orsay, which is a former train station, was converted into a museum. And there as well, they're worried about the things that are stored down in the basement, and the museum has been closed, and the staff working today to bring things to upper floors.
That's got to be quite an undertaking, especially under these conditions as well. Also, as far as the city as a whole, Jim, we've been seeing the photographs and social media of the Seine River waters extremely high. How high are they, and what kind of threat does the river pose?
Well, in fact, it's pretty much of a threat right now. I mean, a lot of people who live along the Seine in the various boats, houseboats along the Seine and whatnot, are really concerned, especially about the debris in the river. There's a lot of floating trees and debris from houses and things like that. We saw refrigerators there when we were down at the Seine yesterday, and all kinds of things floating down the river. So they're worried about that. They're worried about finding, perhaps, as the environmental minister here said just a few minutes ago, they're worried about finding perhaps people who did not get out in time as the flood waters recede here. Already it's known that 2 people have died because of the flood, including a horseman yesterday, a 74-year-old rider whose horse was swept away. The horse managed to survive, but he did not. There's a great deal of concern about the damage this is all causing. The pedestrian areas along the Seine, which are on both banks, in fact, this is the time of year when they would be normally filling up the restaurants and cafes along the river, and in fact they've been pretty much wiped out by this. A lot of the kitchen equipment has been damaged to the extent it'll have to be replaced. So there's going to be a good deal of damage right here in Paris. I should just say this morning that one of the things that's happened is that they've shut down one of the main commuter train lines, the RERC, which carries about 500,000 people per day in and out of Paris. It's been shut down because the waters have flooded the rail tracks in the Paris area. So it's a complicated picture this morning, and also a lot of traffic on the roads because as people can't use the trains and whatnot, and some of the metro stations have been closed down. They've been taking their cars, and that causes gigantic traffic jams, as we've seen this morning.
It's enduring quite a lot, and it's not just Paris we know, but surrounding regions as well. All right, we thank you, Jim Bitterman, bringing the latest on the flooding there in Paris. Thanks, Jim.